this book to be found now? Surely it is a bad sign.
Silence. Kataka is about to begin.
This passage here speaks to us now. Very powerful. Savor temporalis nundame. Cor malus.
When the progress of time ceases, the one will be appointed.
No. Cor malus. Reportorta invisita bloom.
The evil ones will be pointed out for all to see.
When the progress of time ceases? What could it mean?
We must wait and watch. The meaning of the prophecy will become clear in time.
Wait, after I found your precious book? No. When time stops, the evil will be pointed out, or whatever she said. Don't you want to know what we're up against?
What would you do? Stop time with your bare hands? You cannot make the prophecies come to pass, thief. It is folly to think so.
You can't, but maybe I can. I could break into the clock tower in Stone Market, find some way to stop the clock from running.
Perhaps the Stone Market clock could be considered a symbol of time. But if you are suggesting sabotage, you would accomplish nothing, except further enraging the Hammerites.
With Kataka so close to discovering the Brethren and betrayer, Garrett.
I'm not going to sit around doing nothing. That's your job.
Fool! I forbid you to go to the clock tower or to interfere with the prophecy in any way.
You forget. I don't take orders from you.
He has left, First Keeper Orlan.
Yes. I can see that.
Oh, that cleared up precisely nothing, didn't it? Also, I forgot to go buy these earlier. Someone actually told me about these, and I just completely spaced on the entire concept. Basically, these are going to be needed to access the next level. The game at no point tells you they're going to be needed, or where to find them. Literally, you just have to be walking around and notice that little patch of what appears to be texture at the end of the corridor there. And the corridor end of the table, even,
Hi there.
isn't just a texture, it's actually an item you can buy. Which doesn't help that the item buying menu in this game, at least running on Windows 7, seems to be rather buggy. So I have to highlight like below and slightly to the side of the item I actually want to select for the game to register what I'm trying to buy.
Hi there. Welcome to the Undercurrent.
So combine that with, like I said, the fact that the climbing gloves look they're like the exact same colour brown as the table, which doesn't help. And yes, this is probably mostly all going to be post-commentary for various reasons. Right, what's this? Gas arrows. Basically, I can now fire knockout gas at people, although it is very, very finicky, to put it mildly. The gas cloud the arrow releases has to be basically at their head level, and exactly at their head level. They have to walk through it. If you attempt to like fire it on the ground in front of them, yeah, I didn't realise I couldn't just jump straight off the wall, Spider-Man style. Jumping just purely releases you from the wall and makes you drop. You get no momentum out of it at all. Thankfully though, you can move left and right, as I eventually discover. There we go. No idea how or why this works. But it's basically now a Spider-Man feature. Any stone wall of any description, you can now climb across.
Time to stop on its own, but I think their prophecy needs a little push.
But yeah, fire the gas arrows at their feet, nothing happens.
Is so tall, you can see it all the way from all.
In fact, they don't even remark on the gas cloud.
If there's a way to stop time, then this is it. I made it inside the tower. Now I just have to figure out how to sabotage it. It's centuries old, and they say its gears have killed more men than the city's guillotine. It'll be full of Hammerites, too. Some of them spend their whole lives here, maintaining it.
Climbing through a great dark machine, eh?
Clockworks.
Have very amnesia.
I'll be making my way down from the top. With a little luck along the way, I can figure out how to turn the thing off.
It's always best to make your way down from the top.
Prophecies is more productive than the keepers, or this could be a big waste of time.
Quite possibly. Nice pun at the end there, by the way, Garrett. Waste of time, eh? But yes, playing on hard mode, of course. Because, Basically, it's the highest difficulty I'm willing to play on, without actually having any idea of what's going on. Expert would be easier to do once I've played the game through at least once, so I got a vague idea of where the loot and stuff is. Expert, playing blind, would just be tragic, to be quite frank. You spend far too long just retracing the same couple of rooms over and over, looking for that one scrap of loot that you apparently forgot. Especially on some of the levels, where the loot is like really scarce. I can't see it being fun, basically. Yeah, the gas arrows are, I don't know, they're not quite as useful as I'd like them to be quite frank. Ooh. Sounds. Let's go sneaking. I say that, there's nobody up here. I think pretty much the entire point of like having the metal floor right there off the bat is just to let the player know you're going to be encountering floors that make noise. So if you're going to be using moss arrows, or having to be very, very sure where you want to go before you start moving. And be damn quick about it. Ooh, the spinny fans of spinny. Whoa. Okay, yeah. Not just in Soma. Get the spinny fans of spinny in this as well. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, I've been having a lot of issues with this PC lately. And not just the
These
PC.
machines could crush me flat. Better keep on my toes.
Or better yet, out the way of the machinery precise. Perhaps even precise? It is precise machinery, I guess, but I don't even know where my words are coming from right now. But yes. It's all rather strange. So in addition to like my PC just randomly having these errors where it just freezes at startup, well, the graphics freeze at startup more accurately. In addition to all that, my range extender for my router decided to die recently, which means I actually have no internet connectivity for my PC. Not an issue for my laptop. I can take my laptop over to the router. You'll move it closer. Job done. Can't exactly do that with a tower PC now, can I? So I'm currently sat here playing this, recording this, waiting for Amazon to next day delivery a new range extender for me.
I know thou art here, knave.
Personally, I think that's a swizz. They react like I jumped into view and I didn't. I made a slight noise. I'm still slightly annoyed actually. There's no way to like quietly land in this game. You know, make it a skill test if you have to. Make it so like I have to push, like crouch at just the right moment before I hit the deck in order to land softly. In fact, perhaps even don't do that. Just have me holding the crouch button as I land. And I'll land like a dead little flower. But no, if you hold the crouch button while you're falling, what happens is you land in a crouch. You still land with the same noise and impact. Which I suppose is realistic, but I don't know, it seems like a bit of a swizz in a stealth game having no way, you know, guarantee that you would land quietly. Or perhaps don't even make it guaranteed, make it like subject to chance in some way. So if you're holding the crouch button, there's like a 50-50% chance that you'll land either quietly or noise. Yeah, that happened again. Attempted to jump up onto the ledge. The game decided no, there's a wall there. Bounced me straight back down, triggered the landing on metal noise again. Re-alerted them.
It's around here somewhere.
Thankfully it's pitch black down here. Don't know how it's going to look on the video once I'm done, but it is actually pitch black down here. Which means they can't even see me if I'm standing up looking at them.
Dost run too free.
Works nicely for me. Speaking of nicely, there's a shiny over there, I can see it. It's a shiny, as I recall, is actually alluded to much, much later in the level.
Tis that?
In fact, to find this shiny by backtracking, I don't know how you'd even do it.
Peace.
The documentation you find mention of it in is extremely vague. And you'd expect to find the documentation before the item. But you find... yeah. You find the documentation telling you about the diamond gear there. Much, much later into the level. It's very counterintuitive. I mean, usually I praise that in this game's design, but in this one case it's so obtuse. You have to go all the way back to the start, essentially, to find the item that's mentioned. I don't know.
Perhaps 'tis not nothing.
Perhaps tit is. Yeah, titties.
'Tis not.
Okay. I actually do really well during like the first 20 minutes of this segment. I don't think anyone actually catches me. A couple of people think they like catch a glimpse or hear a noise. But I'm reasonably certain that absolutely no single guard actually finds me. I could use the word actually far too many times in a row there, but you get the general idea. We did... Oh! Nice try, game. Not activating the ladder grab. This is why I said earlier, when you're moving on ladders in this game, be very, very careful. Because every now and again that will happen. The game will just randomly decide not to bother triggering the grab animation. Yeah, I tried to like sneak around between the pillar and the machine before this guy turned around, but 'twas not to be. 'Twas not to be, sadly. I've no idea why he suddenly spun to see me just then.
Brother, is
Spun
that
to
thou?
spun to see me? That was right, wasn't it? Well, grammatically correct, I think. But it worked out nicely regardless.
Search.
Apparently I ducked back into the shadows just fast enough for him to go on general patrol mode. Which meant that rather than having to knock him out, or, avoid him in this segment, once he'd finished opening both of the doors, I could just walk around and nab stuff at my own leisure.
'Twas around here.
He goes exploring the lower levels, gives me plenty of time. Mine, take all his health potions and his dinner money. There's something else around here, isn't there? Ah, loot.
I don't know about stopping time.
That was what, again, I'm looking at the rare loot underneath there. The game decides, no, you must read the book that you're not even looking at. The journal of Father DeBow. Any smith can divide pieces into 24 ingots of equal weight, split shavings, but only a great forger can split time, is basically what this thing's saying. It's saying that the Hammerites are a level above normal folk. They don't just do their work and do it well, they do it efficiently, damn it. They split the day into exactly the right amounts. They make every single hour, every minute, every second count to the utmost degree. There is never a moment of waste, never a moment where they are not doing something. Which is utter bollocks, of course, because for a fact, we've seen blokes just wandering around not particularly doing much in pretty much every Hammerite level we've done so far, which is only 2, I admit, but you get the general idea. Plus, we find out the father himself. He's basically getting drunk on expensive booze that he's hidden away. Which doesn't seem particularly efficient to me, don't know the rest of you. Efficient at getting drunk, perhaps. But basically, he's bought himself this rare liqueur. And he's busy getting sozzled, while dwelling on the mistakes of past famous members of the Builders. Karras, who was a tool apparently, and Gleedus. He was the guy who wanted to drink from the chalice. He was making all the preparations and such while we snuck in and stole it. So he didn't really get to do that, did he? So yeah, this guy's, knocking back a few while on duty. And lamenting the folly of his brethren. And at the same time talking about how much better they are than normal people still, though.
But this should let me stop the clockworks.
There we go. Father Debole Solace. Solace at the bottom of a bottle. Ah, religion. Okay. And because I let through the window there, even if I did alert the guard, he couldn't come and find me, because the door is currently locked. I suppose he could, it depends. See, some of them have keys and some don't. I don't try to get how this works. Because, I mean, in theory they should all have keys, if they can go through locked doors that I can't without a key, or without lockpicking. And yet, when you knock them out, they don't drop keys. Not always, sometimes they do. Just, I don't get it entirely. I suppose it's to make sure the player can't, clonk the first guard they see on the head, rob his keys, and then just walk through the level, without having to do the lockpick mechanic at all. Right, we're up here somewhere. Actually, no, we started there. Now we're in the middle, I think. Yeah? Yeah. We're going to make our way all the way down to the basement. Something over there as well. Can't remember what it is. I think it's like a little mini church inside the tower. It's where we're ultimately going to be. Gonna come out from here, walk along to the main shaft, activate the coal dispenser first. Something in the foreman's office, I can't remember what. Activate the steam release, go down the stairs, and activate the halting mechanism. That's my plan, anyhow. Not sure when it's going to work. Not sure actually how long I'm going to have to do this. Might have to actually complete the level at a later date, which is going to be so weird. Gonna be coming back with like no idea what I've done or why. Which is always fun. That door opened the wrong way. Let's close that, just so nobody remarks on it when they come back this way. Stand beneath the drips. Ah, there we go. See, these folks are a bit weird. These aren't actually combatants. They're like pure priests. They're not fighters. They just walk. There's extra eyes to walk around and spot you. And extra loot to steal as well if you're bold enough, if you're sneaky enough. If the game will bloody well let you. There we go. You can only grab it if you're close enough, and I think if they've got their back to you. Which is really annoying sometimes. The time is not thine own, must be devoted to the great work of our order. When they will take their repast, have care thou's not congregate with their... Yeah, but don't talk to each other, don't mingle, don't talk about the order. Don't do anything that might make you realise it's all a load of bollocks. It's very Scientology in that respect. Yeah. And anytime you do find yourself free, meditate, pray. Again, don't speak, don't interact with anyone.
And right from my person.
I know, who could have done it, right? Don't bother looking or anything. Alright, where are we going here? Ah, holy water. Lovely. Ooh. No, no, please, Garrett. The thing I'm looking at. The thing I
have not heard of that before.
Yeah. What the hell was that? The highlight and grab mechanic doesn't always work very well in this game. Like, you'll be looking straight at something, but the game will insist you're actually looking at something like 10 foot above you. It won't actually let you interact with the thing you're actually physically staring right at. Garrett will insist on like grabbing whatever's like above his head or something instead. Again, I don't know if that's because of like the widescreen hack I'm using, or because I'm running on Windows 7 and this was never meant for Windows 7, or what exactly is going on. See, there you go.
Hello?
Had to stand at a weird angle to get to highlight the coin pouch. Which makes no sense to me. Like it was deciding like the physical walls of the treasure chest extended higher than they really did. Seems like a weird thing to me. I think there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in this game. Just like weird little bugs and glitches. Like when we were down in the under the sea level. I basically, well, crab walked right in front of that fishman guard and he didn't see me somehow. I don't know, because I was technically in shadow, but even so, literally I was right in front of him. I was practically rubbing across his shins. He didn't see me. Then yet at other times I've had like guards and things spot me within seconds of becoming visible. I don't entirely get what's going on in this game in some cases. And yes, I'm going to keep abusing the third person mechanic. This isn't really a game I'm playing for immersion. This is a game I'm playing for the joy of sneaking around and swiping shit. It's sort of like that. It's essentially the same thing in a lot of games, but it's all power fantasy thing, isn't it? But rather than being uber powerful in the sense that I can beat everyone up and take everything regardless of what they want me to do, this is the case I am unseen, I am like the wind. I move in, I take what I need, and I disappear before anyone even knows I'm there. Different kind of power fantasy, but it's still a power fantasy. Actually, we're getting pretty close to the 60% cutoff already. Got like 40% loot. We're barely into the level. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Builder smite he who has stolen from us.
You fool. There's already cutlery anyway. Or small elemental shovels. I couldn't exactly tell.
Thou art here, I knowest it. Now
Yeah, he goes off and investigates the other side of the room now. Yo, as you do. Gives me plenty of time to swipe what's in here, I do believe. No, is he going back?
reveal thee to me.
Yeah, he's doing his whole, I will do this, I will do that. And yet he's walking the exact same patrol route he always walks. Not actually varied his thing at all, except he's going back to the other side of the room more often, for some bizarre reason. Oh god, I've done this again. There we go. You have to stand at weird angles. I was clipping through the vent there, that's weird. Come on. Bugger off, son. Yeah, I guess I sound like weird today. That's because I am sat here with like half an ear out waiting for the delivery van for the new range extender, and also because I'm not feeling too well, to be quite frank. And I got a really, really bad night's sleep on top of everything else.
Yeah?
So why are you recording, Lizzo, you might hear? You might hear yourself asking.
It was an odd noise.
Be it in your head or with your ears. To be quite frank, I'm doing it just purely something to do at this point. Didn't particularly wake up in the mood thinking, you know, I want to record today. It's more a case of nothing else I want to do. Might as well record today. Bing, mine. Perhaps not the greatest of attitudes to have, but I'm going to save like my enthusiasm probably for Soma at this point. Because that's the game that's like really at the back of my mind. But because I'm playing that on my laptop with limited recording space, I can't just sit there and like marathon the entire game. I've actually got to, you know, calmly think it through and such. Decide when I'm going to play, when I'm not, and make sure that everything is edited and up to date, so I don't end up with like 6,000 hours of footage to bloody edit by the end of it all. I think that guy's commenting on the fact that he left the double doors open. The guard upstairs. Commenting on the fact that he left the double doors open when he came to investigate. That'll actually happen sometimes in this game. They'll get triggered for like investigation mode by things they've done, not things I've done. Like another little weird bug in this game. Like one of them will open a door to go look for me. I think this is the thing that talks about the diamond gear as well. They'll open a door to go look for me. Go back to the regular patrol route without closing the door. Next time they walk past it, they'll go, someone's left the door open. Yes, it was you, you tit. Then they'll go charging off on, like, you know, caution mode, to use some Metal Gear Solid terminology. So essentially, they'll alert themselves. Which is deeply, deeply irritating when you're, like, in the middle of, like, your own little stealthy sneak sequence. And then suddenly another guard comes rushing down the stairs because he's decided the door he left open is cause for alarm and gone charging round to look around the place. I haven't actually had a situation where one of them's gone into full-blown alert mode, but yeah, I had a couple of guards just reappear in caution mode because of doors, like I say, they've left open. Deeply irritating, but there it is. Yeah, I always thought like the iron thing was going to be like a clue as to what you needed to do in order to actually break the machine, but no. Just a random comment about durability and clockwork. Which I was a little disappointed by, if I'm honest. I think it would have really been cool if that actually played in to what you needed to do. You know? Like you read that, you think, I've got to find an iron bar somewhere, jam it in the works. But no, sadly not. Well, I say all. You'll see when I get there, it's all very complicated. At least in the sense of actually getting from one place to another anyway. Ooh, machines. Ozymandias would be quite at home here. Was it Ozzy? Again, I can't remember his first name. Pretty sure the protagonist from A Machine for Pigs was somebody Mandus. Was it Mendes? I might go back and play that game. Just purely for like the speedrun strats. I think that's sadly... Actually no, not sadly, that's pretty much the only reason I replay a lot of modern games these days. Let's see how they can be broken with speedrun strategies. I mean, some of them are hilariously broken. Like the original Amnesia. You can use like barrels and stuff to like essentially force yourself out of bounds and then just walk straight around half the level to the end of it. Good stuff. Kind of funny watching the monsters like roam around on the map trying to figure out how the hell to get to you as well. In case you could see what I was peeking at earlier, there is a ladder in the middle of the room that goes down somewhere. Since I need to get down to the lower areas of the room, I shall be going that way. I don't have to. In fact, there's an elevator, like directly in front of me. That could have gone down instead. I'm not entirely certain why this room has like 2 exits. I mean, I know the game sort of builds itself on this, you know, craft your own route, your own adventure, blah blah blah. I mean, I ended up choosing the ladder just because I was curious if it would lead anywhere special. but it leads to exactly the same place as the I mean, literally the exact same place as the elevator. Doesn't even take you to like a particularly distinct and different part of the level. So again, I don't get entirely why this is even an option. It just seems to like be there for the sake of being there. I don't know. There's a bit of extra thrill and extra challenge for me though. But I can't really complain on that front.
It's a long way, but down is always easier than up.
Down is always faster than up, Garrett. Not easier. Down often comes with more risks as well, if you take my meaning. Case in point, I'm gonna drop a save in case I fall off the edge and instantly die. Because I still haven't got like a full handle on how the fall mechanics work in this game. It's like sometimes I can fall, you know, like the length of the Empire State Building with a light graze. Other times I drop off a ledge and take half my health and damage. It seems to depend on a number of things, like did you jump before you fell? Exactly how high have you fallen? What are you landing on? All sorts of things. That up there is the elevator, by the way. If we could have ridden that down, just ended up here. So yeah, literally, like, no difference in where you end up. I have no idea how to get down here normally. What I'm going to do is basically take advantage of the weird way this game calculates, like, where ledges are. And all the ledges have, like, slopes attached to them, rather than just, like, solid walls. So basically I'm going to forcibly make Garrett hit the ledge, slide, and thus be able to, like, glide underneath the lip of the ledge. I don't know. It's one of the few times where that's actually useful. A lot of times it's just plain old annoying. Like that. Attempted to turn around and slid off the edge, because the edge of the walkway there is actually calculated as a slope instead of a solid edge. There's only one exit out of this room, by the way, in case you're wondering. There's nothing to explore. It's literally just a blank room with one guy walking around in circles. My randomly disappearing and reappearing shadow. Because the shadows for the spinny blades don't appear to be properly loaded. They're like solid black lines, against the walls at least, when they shouldn't be. Against Garrett's character model and stuff, they work fine. I don't get it.